There's a place on Earth that no human was meant to see. It's been hidden for millions of years, buried beneath miles of water, guarded by pressure that would crush a submarine like paper, and yet it exists. A landscape so strange, so alien, that when scientists first discovered it, they thought their equipment had malfunctioned. They checked it twice. 3 times. It wasn't a glitch. Something had built structures on the ocean floor. Something before us. Something we still don't understand. Tonight, we descend into the deepest, strangest place on Earth, not with fear, with wonder, because what lies beneath the waves might change everything we thought we knew about who came before. Before we dive into these depths, I have a gentle request. If this voice has ever been a light in your darkness, please consider subscribing to this channel. Think of it as an anchor, something to hold on to when the waters get deep. Now, let that intention drift away. Your only task tonight is to listen, and to let the ocean carry you. Off the coast of Cuba, a deep-sea exploration team is mapping the ocean floor. Their equipment is state-of-the-art. Side-scan sonar that can see through sediment, through miles of water, through the darkness that has covered this place for millennia. The screen flickers, data streams in, and then they see it. Structures, geometric shapes, right angles that don't occur in nature. They check the calibration. It's fine. They run the scan again. Same result. Paul Weinzweig, the lead researcher, later described the moment. What we saw was a massive, sprawling complex of structures. Some of them were pyramid-shaped. Others were long, straight lines that looked like roads or walls. It was unlike anything we'd ever seen in nature. The site sits at a depth of over 2,000 feet. That means whatever is down there was built when sea levels were much lower. When that land was above water, when was that? At least 50,000 years ago, maybe more. 50,000 years before humans were supposed to have built cities. But something built this. Something left marks on the ocean floor that our sonar can still read today. You'd think this discovery would have made headlines, front page news, a global announcement. It didn't. After the initial discovery, the team tried to get funding for further exploration. They approached universities, research institutions, media outlets. The response? Silence. One official told them, "We don't comment on findings like this. Like this. What does that mean? Findings like what? Findings that rewrite history? Findings that challenge everything we think we know?" The Cuban government, which controlled the waters where the site was found, gave permission for a limited follow-up expedition in 2003. The team brought an underwater robot capable of diving to the depths where the structures lay. But when the robot descended, the footage was inconclusive. The structures were there. The geometry was undeniable. But the footage was never fully released. Some say it was technical limitations. The depths were too great, the sediment too thick. Others wonder, what did they see down there that they didn't want us to know about? Here's where it gets stranger. The Cuban site isn't alone. Off the coast of Japan, near the island of Yonaguni, divers have explored what many believe is a submerged city. Massive stone terraces, right angles. What appears to be a pyramid carved into the rock, rising from the seafloor. Mainstream geologists say it's natural terrace structure formed by tectonic activity. But divers who have been there describe something different. Symmetry, purpose, architecture. In the Gulf of Cambay, India, sonar revealed structures stretching for miles. Walls, staircases, foundations of buildings. Carbon dating of artifacts recovered from the site, pottery, carvings, human remains, placed them at 9,500 years old. That's older than the oldest known cities in Mesopotamia. In the Mediterranean, off the coast of Malta, ancient cart tracks lead straight into the sea, as if roads once continued where there is now only water. Off the coast of the Bahamas, Divers have found stone blocks arranged in patterns that look like walls, like platforms, like something that was built. The pattern is too consistent to ignore. Someone was building things on land that is now underwater. Someone before us. To understand what these structures mean, we have to understand time. The last ice age ended about 12,000 years ago. As the glaciers melted, sea levels rose dramatically. The oceans climbed over 400 feet. Coastlines that had been dry land for tens of thousands of years vanished beneath the waves. If there were cities on those coastlines, they would be underwater now, at depths of hundreds of feet. Exactly where we're finding them. The Cuban site sits at 2,000 feet. That suggests it's much older. It was submerged not during the last ice age, but during an earlier one, an earlier melt. An earlier forgetting, which means people were building cities not 12,000 years ago, but 50,000 years ago. Maybe 100,000. That doesn't fit the history we've been taught, but it fits the evidence we're finding. We just have to be willing to look. So why haven't you heard about these discoveries? Why aren't they in textbooks, documentaries, classrooms? Because history is harder to change than stone. The academic establishment has invested centuries in a story of human origins. A story where civilization began 6,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, where everything before that was simple, primitive, waiting to be discovered. Underwater cities don't fit that story. They break it, so they're ignored, explained away, called natural formations, or anomalies, or mistakes. One archaeologist asked about the Yonaguni site in Japan said, "It can't be man-made because humans weren't capable of that kind of construction at that time." Do you see the logic? It can't be what it looks like because we've already decided what was possible. That's not science. That's dogma. The ocean floor is the largest museum on Earth. It holds the ruins of worlds we've forgotten, and we're only beginning to find them. Imagine them for a moment. The people who built these cities, they watched the sea rise, year after year, generation after generation, the water creeping higher, the land shrinking, their world disappearing. They built walls. They built higher. They moved inland, but the sea followed. Eventually, they had to leave. Their cities, their temples, their homes, all surrendered to the waves. They took what they could carry, stories, knowledge, seeds, children, and they went to higher ground, to the places we now call the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley. Maybe they didn't invent civilization there. Maybe they brought it with them, from a world that now lies beneath the sea. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, think of those cities, silent now, covered by miles of water, waiting for someone to find them. They don't need to be excavated. They don't need to be proven. They just need to be remembered. The world is older than we know, deeper, stranger, and somewhere beneath the waves, the proof is waiting. Thank you for diving into the depths with me tonight. If this story stirred something in you, curiosity, wonder, a sense that the world is larger than we know, please consider leaving a like. It helps others find their way to these forgotten shores. And remember, the ocean holds its secrets well. But tonight, you don't need to uncover them. Let them rest. Let yourself rest. Good night.